Hey everybody, it's your boy Chris here. I'm going to talk to you about a film that came out last month or last year in December time, called the new Spider-Man film. Really enjoyed it. Can't give too much away, but the moments that I really enjoyed were the villains that came into it. There were villains. Yeah, I wish there was one villain that you don't see, and I'm like, I even did the count up. I was like, okay, there's no Scorpion, sadly. If there was, you'd have had the Sinister Six if you had a couple of the characters. Rhino wasn't in it, sadly. But you did have Lizard, Electro, Octok, Green Goblin, and Sandman. Again, really good moments for the characters. There was a joke when, I'm not going to give out too much spoilers, but the original two Spider-Mans come out, the one from what's it called, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and the one from the three Spider-Man films, my favourite three. There's a reference, there is some references in there. There's a reference with, how they died, and sorry, that's a spoiler, but when they all meet up, it is one of the best moments. Like, they're like, Peter Parker, I'm Peter Parker, and they couldn't, and in the whole film, you can literally hear them, like, argue about which one they're actually talking to. It's like, Peter Parker 1, Peter Parker 2, Peter Parker 3, it was hilarious. There is a joke where the Electro finally sees the Amazing Spider-Man and goes, I thought you'd be African American. And he's like, wouldn't it be weird if I was in a universe? Referencing No Way Home. Looking forward to whatever the new one, Into the Spider-Verse 2 or whatever it is. And it looks good. Both of them look really good. Andrew Garfield, who was one of the good Spider-Man films, they all felt really good. Like, they even had some of the original actors play their roles again. And I loved that. Like, I loved that they brought, you see the Hobgoblin, you see, that they haven't changed much, but you can tell there's a little older style with them. One of my favourites is when Peter Parker talks to Octok, and he's like, Peter, you've grown so much, and he's so happy. And the best bit is, even in the films, I was like, did he die? I couldn't remember if he died, but they even said, these ones are the ones, and there is a reference to Gwen Stacy dying in Amazing Spider-Man 2, and even he was crying because he knows he tried to save her and failed. And that's so sweet. I'm like, oh no! The ending, I'm not going to give away too much ending. I'm going to give away the ending of the part 2 ending, because Marvel, it has multiple endings. For the No Way Home ending, there was an extra bit, and it was like, he stands there and he's like, so there are people with superpowers, and you just hear a voice, and he's like, yes, and they've been telling you about themselves. And it's like, he says, like, this bloke goes, yeah, there's a purple alien. And even Spider-Man makes a reference. He's like, yeah, I had to fight this alien, but he wasn't a good alien. And like the Spider-Man from the Marvel movies, like, oh yeah, I had to fight an alien, and I had to fight in space. And they're both like, what? we never got this opportunity, which I'm sad to say they didn't really get an opportunity. But Venom at the end is like, and he goes, "Hey, what's happening?" And then there's a little drop of Venom left over. And I am like, oh, Venom's going to be... If they make a fourth movie, Venom's going to be in it. Venom's going to be the main character. Every moment I was like enjoying. And then it just hits the ending and I'm like, I enjoyed that so much. It was... I'll tell you now, my mouth, like, it'd be like... I mean, if I could keep gasping, I would have hit the floor dead. It was that funny. It was sad, but good. It felt really nice to see him. And, like, I hate to say it, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was the funniest. He even says, like, he had trouble to decide if he was going to carry on being Spider-Man. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is intense. This is going to get intense. And, like, when he's fighting some of the bad guys are, you know, when they meet, it's like, hey, you're not going to fight like that, are you? It's like, no, I've got this. And he shows the spider suit, and I'm like, oh my god, he has the spider suit. And, as you know, in the first series of the films, he could just, webs would come out of his hands. And now they've tried to invent it so they even say, And they even look at me, it's like, how do you do this? How do you do this? And they're like, well, I don't really know how it's done. And he goes, does it just come from your from your wrists? It's like, yeah. And he goes, I'll tell you when you're older where else it can come from. So it's like, oh, they're trying to go with the joke of, yeah, what if, you know. It was a good film. Best Spider-Man film so far. I'm sorry, and I like the original 3 Spider-Man films, plus the 2, plus the Marvel Universe ones. So, and I'm gonna call them what they are. You've got the normal Spider-Man films. You got the first 3 Spider-Man films. Then you got the Amazing Spider-Man films, and then you got this one. And I'm like, oh man. And this kid actor is brilliant. I'm looking forward to watching him because he's going to be playing in the new Uncharted movie. Now, I love Uncharted. If you guys know who I love Uncharted. I love Sony games, and I feel like this is perfect. He's played as Spider-Man. Now he's playing someone from Uncharted. He's going to be playing, you know, Nathan Drake. There's going to be a reference to Sam from the Uncharted. This is only in the trailers I've seen. So, who knows where these films are going to go. I'm just happy, and I wanted to let you guys know that I saw this film, and I thought, boom, please, if you get a chance to watch it if you're a huge Spider-Man fan. I am a huge Spider-Man fan. To prove it to you, I've got this, and this is my, when I play Magic the Gathering, this is a box, and even that has references to my favourite Spider-Man show. Even though I've got my favourite Spider-Man, and that is the original. Like, you've got this, a card of, you know, Spider-Man versus... I only paid $5 for that, but anyway, as I was saying, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm a huge Marvel fan in general. I prefer DC a little bit. I think live action, Marvel wins. Animated, DC wins. TV shows, I could go either way, really, but I think DC have a little bit better. But yeah, I thought I'd just let you guys know that I watched a new Spider-Man film, how I felt about it, and let you guys continue with your normal day. Subscribe, like, comment below, do all that, and I'll love you forever. Okay, lovies and kisses. Mwah.